There you go.
Yeah. Right, we have the technology. I've been having some real mares the last couple of weeks with my tech. Even yesterday, I was not everyone will know this. I was sort of, I thought, yeah, I've got these at the church. I've set up this Windows computer, and it was like Sharon's old computer, and I tested it at home. Everything was fine. Took it in there. It's got speakers built into the screen, and they just wouldn't come on, no matter what I did. And then and so in the end, I just put in my dialed in with my phone and put earpods in, and then they ran out. You probably don't know this either. They ran out of juice about quarter two. I had to leave in one, and I was charging up the other while I was talking, and kept swapping them over because that was my only method of I could have used the speaker on the phone, I suppose. Anyway, welcome to AI, the cool stuff. Enough about my technical troubles, and today we're going to be chatting about some AI stuff, hopefully. Do a couple of little demos. But as always, we'll go around the room and we'll just introduce ourselves. Just tell us who you are and what you do. And if there's, I was I was looking at Atlas and Comet, and I installed Atlas and it didn't work. It said it's not going to run on this computer for some reason. So I've also had trouble with Atlas, but never mind. I mean, I know Brian's answer to this already, but let me know if you've used Atlas and or Comet. So, Brian.
Well, I have used Atlas and Comet. I can't get on with Atlas. I use ChatGPT as my main driver for AI, but Comet I do find it's very good, and I can program it to do for me what are useful tasks. Anyway, I'm Brian. I don't know really how to describe myself in this group. I was thinking last night, perhaps I should say I'm a prosumer. That's a common word now, isn't it? So I don't really use it for. I do use it for things I do, but I'm not like in business with it. But I do find it absolutely fascinating, and I've actually just started a new online agentic course, so I'm quite interested in that.
Okay.
So
Brilliant. Thanks, Brian. Um, Steffi.
I'm Steffi Lewis, and I use AI all day, every day. I'm an AI coder. This is my latest product, Bot, which is smart AI chatbots for web designers, for marketing agencies, for small business owners. It turns your digital turnip into a lean green question answering, lead generating machine. Thank you.
Perfect.
I haven't tried Atlas because it's Mac only.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Oh, is it Mac only? Is it? Okay.
Yeah, they haven't released the Windows version yet. And Sora 2 isn't available in the UK yet, which is annoying.
I know there's lots of things not available. But I'll talk about that in a minute. Jane.
Hi, Jane Tech 40 provide IT systems to small and medium-sized businesses with a strong focus on Linux and open source privacy and security it provides. No, I haven't tried that. Well, I can't try it because I don't have a Mac. I didn't realize it was only, unless it works on iPhone, does it?
not yet.
No, or Comet actually. So there you go. But yeah, I've been listening to lots of podcasts and various things about the imminent demise of anything AI because they can't. We were talking about it last week. The revenue's just not there to support it at the moment. So anyway, there you go.
That's interesting. Yeah, yeah, we will talk about that actually because it's a really fascinating. I saw a really fascinating video, probably the same video that you saw with what's that guy's name? Gary Marcus. Did an interview the other day. He's a well-known
Is he? Okay, yeah.
AI sort of. He's a brain expert. He started off as a neuro. Well, he's a neuro something or other expert, and he's to do with the brain, and then he's moved into AI, but he's he criticized. Who's the guy that runs OpenAI? He became a
Sam Altman.
yeah, Sam Altman. He had a bit of a falling out with him over the direction in which they thought things were going to go in or should go. So, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Shirley, a resident AI expert, Shirley. Set up any virtual machines this week.
I'm so expert at using AI that I don't know what you're talking about.
You're post AI, aren't you?
I work in health and wellness, and everybody keeps telling me I should use XYZ to do XYZ, but I haven't got around to doing it. I'm still talking to people face to face, and I still enjoy doing that. And I will only go into the AI realm when I am actually forced to. So that's me.
Good for you.
Oh, that's Warren Buffett said, never get involved in something you don't understand.
Exactly.
Work for him.
Yeah, and because he also said in 2008, and this might happen again soon. That I think mentioned it yesterday. He said that when sort of when the tide goes out, you see who's been swimming naked. Mike.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I'm a financial planner, and I would like to think I'm an enthusiastic amateur for AI. I always thought Comet was a shop. I didn't know any more than that, so that's a difficult one for a start. Currently, I have, I think I mentioned it before, I had workmen outside all through the summer laying fantastic new Wi-Fi cabling and things. Of course, it's not connected, it doesn't work, and what I've got is a lot of problems because you keep cutting out on me, or no, presumably I'm cutting out on you because of the connection here, which is dreadful. So anyway, that's who I am. Carry on.
Oh, it's frustrating for you, Mike.
Just a bit.
I've got 100 meg line, and I've got no inclination that they're offering a gigabyte now, or sort of where we
I've got half a gig. I've got half a gig. I
100 meg seems to work okay. I mean, Netflix works, and my Zoom.
I probably never use more than 100 at any one time.
Because my issue, because they keep selling these little old ladies who check their bank account once a month, these sort of gigabyte lines and things, And I was trying to explain, like, if you got a pipe this big and you got a pipe this big, if you tip in one glass of water down the middle, it doesn't matter how big that pipe is, It's you're never going to touch the sides. And I'm David Harris, and apart from running this, I look after websites, and I host websites and give them a home. And I look after them when you're faced with a blank screen, or it comes up with a horrible error, like what my Peppercorn website was doing yesterday without my knowledge, until some kind person, Dave Rindle, said, your website's not working. So it was just was an issue with a plugin because it's a WordPress site. But that was easily fixed. It took me about 15 seconds, which most of these things do when you know what you're doing. So it's good. Right, excellent. Where are we? Gemini 3.5. I just read it like minutes ago. It was Gemini 3.5. It's not out, but it's codenamed Snow Bunny. They like their nano bananas and things like that, but they've got one called Snow Bunny, and it's apparently, as always, it's going to be better than everything else by miles, and no doubt it will be until the next version of something else comes out. But I think that there is this, and we'll talk about what Jane was alluding to, was there's sort of each new level that comes out is progressively less impressive when it comes to a jump from the one before. So maybe things will change. See, ChatGPT Go, they've brought out a new subscription for $8 a month. It's between the free version and the $20 a month version. So it's an affordable entry point for small business owners, so they say, and students who want priority access and faster response time without the full pro price tag.
And ads.
So they then actually, I had a good week with Chat. I haven't signed up yet, but they said I could have another free month. So I might do that at some point.
You know that's going to get ads.
Yes. Yeah, the
Mm.
Go is going to get ads as well. Yeah. So it's the free version, and the Go is going to get ads. Unfortunately, at the moment, ads are only available in America. So we actually finally win at something. But apparently it's taken a bit more development, because the ads have to be interactive. So you got to be able to question the ad. So you're having a deep philosophical discussion with ChatGPT, and then it up pops an advert for pepperoni pizza. You may want to interrogate the advert on the ingredients of the pepperoni or something.
I don't think it's going to work that way.
No.
I think it's you ask it a question about something, and then it'll recommend the product.
All right. So it's product placement.
I think that more aligns what it's
That's a
going
bit
to.
insidious, isn't it? I heard that it was Sasha Jansen that I was listening to, but there's been a lot of podcasts. But apparently they're interrogating the data and selling it. So, it's like this thing that when Google said, do no evil, we'll never do ads. And apparently most of the ChatGPT, the AI models probably will have to. But yeah, how they'll use the data and how it's difficult, I think.
I think if you do ads like somewhere on the screen, like a bar across the bottom, that'll have to use your data from the conversations and it'll build a model of who you are. But I think, if I typed in, oh, I need a chatbot for my website, and I was paying them, it would actually recommend, oh, you should try your bot. That sort of thing, because it's got this, and this feature. And then you have a conversation with it about your bot or one of the three others that it's recommended. So I think that's how the ads are going to start. But I could easily see a product bar, at the bottom that's using data from your conversations. So I think there's two levels of ads that are going to happen on Go.
Yeah, that first one, that's quite it's kind of worrying is not the right word yet, but I mean, if you pay whoever it is enough, for to putting obviously your bot is the best out there, but you've got another two that are paying as well, so it will be that how much you can pay to get
it's like the ads, you'll bid for them, so it's like the ads at the top of Google. You end up bidding for placement and stuff like that. So I think that's how it's going to work. I'd totally do it if I could afford it. I would totally.
It's going to be expensive.
Get in on the ground floor. You should advertise OpenAI about Linux. I've got this question about Linux. Well, you need to speak to Jane.
The renowned expert, indisputably.
Yeah, so you just say, if anybody questions Linux in the UK, then I want them to mention my name, that sort of thing. I don't know how it's going to work, but I think that's how it's going to work.
Yeah, because at the moment you're supposed to, because the demise of not like SEO is becoming less relevant, and they're talking about because of the rise of and bots and things. So I think it's you spoke. What they've been advising for the last year or so or longer is to position yourself as an expert. So producing more blogs and having information on your website that answers people's questions. So you think of every single possible question and give an expert answer somewhere on your website in the form of a blog, and blogs are linked together and things like that. So, but then if you can pay to shortcut all that out, I suppose is going to be what it's going to be all about.
That's the way I see it going, because I never use Google search anymore. I use Google AI at the top. And if I'm not using Google AI, then I'll use ChatGPT, which is always open on screen. So, I need a mini PC. Have you got any recommendations? And it'll go blah, 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 blah. And it'll have links to the Amazon page, amazon.co.uk page for me. So that's how I do it. And that's why I think chatbots are going to be a lot bigger on websites, because it's a natural progression from your Google chatbot and OpenAI, and they'll see it on your website and use it there as well. So I think it's a growth market.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because it's yeah. I mean, I always use like Gemini just for the search. I don't go to Google search at all.
Hmm.
I don't go to any search engine. I just go straight in there, and it gives you, you know, it can search Amazon. It can do almost anything you want it to. You know, so you can ask it sort of general questions like my phone's been packing up. I've got an iPhone 11 and it's been packing up. So then I asked it about sort of replacing it, and I was thinking about going to Android, and it came up with like a budget. Have you considered a budget phone? You know, like is it Xiaomi with an X, like 140 quid? You get something that outstrips your current iPhone 11. That's for less than the second-hand. The iPhone second-hand price, even though it's 6 years old, is more than the cost of the new thing. And it said, well, if you're all right with Chinese technology, and he said, well, this is the Gemini. I was questioning about the Chinese thing. Is it? And he said, well, your iPhone was made in China anyway, you know. So
That's true.
and if it was assembled in India, the bits were made in China.
Yeah.
So it's so you've got Chinese technology whether you like it or not. So it's and I ain't got a problem with it anyway. So I bought one.
Oh, and
It's really good, excellent. It's got a great screen. It's got great. It said don't get the entry point one. It told me which models to go for. It said get the Note 14 or 15 because they really compare really well with there, and it was 143 quid.
wow.
And I thought,
What's the name of the model, David?
Xiaomi is Xiaoumi, I think it's spelled.
Okay.
And then it's just it's an Android, obviously Android.
Mm.
You don't get the Apple phone anymore, but I mean, but it's the picture, it's so clear and the camera's fantastic.
Apple
Mm.
I have
pricing
3
itself
lenses, but you
out.
can have 4.
Wow. Apple's just pricing itself out of the market. It's because
Yeah.
there's
It's
idiots.
ridiculous.
Well, it's
Yeah.
1,500 quid for an iPhone, isn't it, for a new one?
Yeah.
I won't be having an iPhone next time because
Mm.
I buy mine. I bought an SE2
Mm.
and it's working perfectly. But at some point, they're going to start slowing it down, and then they won't
Mm.
do operating system updates for
The
it.
the only bonus with Apple, so I'm an Apple user alone in a family of Android users. They love their Androids, but actually I had an old iPhone. I bought myself a new one. I mean, honestly, I had to sell the family dog to buy the bloody thing, but and it's so extravagant. It shames me to think about it, but nonetheless, anyway, my husband is now he lost his Android, so he's using my old. I think it's an SE or something, so 8 years old. But Apple is still providing the updates for it all these years later, which is a really good thing. And I don't think Android models usually provide that level of that length of updates for phones.
No, because I asked how much my iPhone 11 Pro was still worth, and it said
Yeah.
between 150 and 250 pounds. But it needs a new. I've got to buy a new battery, which is 50 quid, and it needs a new charger port, which is another 30 quid. So it's going to cost me 80 quid to.
Yeah.
But I still might get back the money I spent on. I might have upgraded for free. But we shall see. We shall see.
David, did you switch all your data over as well? Did you
Um,
do your contacts and all that sort of thing?
Yeah, yes, you can just like you upgrade an iPhone, you just put one on top of the other. You can do that now with this one, and it can transfer the apps. It can. I didn't let it transfer over my photographs because there's too many of them, and I didn't want to clog up the new phone with a load of guff. And I also dropped all my WhatsApp chats. Again, I couldn't think of anything that I couldn't retrieve, or I don't store stuff on WhatsApp that I need to get hold of. So,
did you have any photographs in the iCloud?
yes, it's still there.
You're still paying
I've
for
got
that,
Mac still. So, I can
Mm.
access iCloud, or you can install iCloud on the phone if you want to look through them, or you can
Oh,
install iCloud on PC, or just go to
interesting.
iCloud.com on the browser, and
Yeah.
you can get to everything. So it's not like stuff's lost. And at some point, I may, because I'm using Google more, I may transfer the pictures from iCloud to
Mm.
Google. And
I must say, I do think some of the Google offering, I mean, I'm all in with Apple, but I do think some of the offerings that Google have now are very good. And in some ways, I wish I wasn't so wedded to the Apple ecosystem, because I'm finding, especially using the Comet browser and ChatGPT, I'm using quite a lot of Google stuff now, just by almost by default, especially documents and stuff like that. And I do feel a bit constrained, funnily enough, now that I'm in the Apple system. Never used to, but with the advent of AI and given Apple's attitude to AI, I'm starting to feel that quite a lot.
yeah, but
Yeah, they've never invested, did they?
but my iPod's connected up to this straight away, to the new phone straight away. So
Ah.
I thought there might be a problem there, but there isn't, because it just uses Bluetooth. So I mean,
Mm.
it just
Mm.
connected up with no problems at all. I The only thing I can do on a Mac is just use my iPhone as a spare camera or something. You can just change the camera to your iPhone, and your messages come through, which is a bit irritating, actually come through to your come through to the computer, like, so I'm sure there's an app or something I could install that did that, but I don't really want it to do that. You can certainly put WhatsApp on any machine, so it's kind of I don't think that
So
happens.
does your phone have the Gemini assistant, David?
Yes, it does.
That's
Yeah,
quite impressive, actually, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. It's got because obviously it's Google anyway, isn't it? Doing the operating system, and then it's got Exumi. Keeps down. Uh, got a, it's got a 6,000 milliamp hour battery. I don't know what that means. Apparently, it should last. It's 22 hours talk time.
Oh,
Uh,
blimey. That's
it's
good.
it's substantially bigger than. Apparently, it's substantial according to Gemini. When I was chatting to Gemini, don't know if Gemini is making any money out of these recommendations.
It
That's
is a good service, yeah.
Yeah, so the Red Note 15. No, Redmi Note 15.
so is there anything, and now you've swapped over and gone to the dark side or the light
Yeah,
side, however one
yeah.
looks at it, is there anything that you miss about the your old system, the
No,
Apple?
no. My Star Trek game transferred over okay. And,
Well, that's obviously the
like,
most important thing.
it's a pain in the ass when you've got to re-register all your bank apps and things,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then put in stuff in Google Wallet instead of the iWallet or Apple Wallet. So,
Mm.
but it didn't take that long. I mean, I didn't even get the phone until 7 o'clock last night, and
Wow.
it's all configured up and got all my stuff
Yeah.
on it. I just realised I haven't got the little app on there, but I mean, it's.
You download that again, I
I think
guess.
I can rectify that.
You'll be walking around the store blind.
That's right.
What
Yeah.
did you what
Oh,
with
I'm not going to get a free vegetable. This is
Yeah. What's in the
what
middle of middle? Yeah.
what happened with all your passwords and so forth?
um,
Um, did they transfer over from your Apple, or do you have to
yeah.
did you
Well,
have them kept
nearly,
somewhere
nearly
else?
all my password. I was actually using Google to store the passwords anyway,
Oh.
Uh,
rather than the key. But they're all over. It's a bit all over the place. Some of them are in
Mm,
the keychain thing, iCloud
yeah.
keychain, but most of them are in Google anyway, and they just popped up almost everything,
Mm,
apart from the banking ones, and almost everything logged in um, through Google. So.
mm.
could I just ask in general, do most people on here use things like Google Drive and Gmail and stuff? Because I mean, I'm still using obviously Apple's file system. I use iCloud, Apple, Mail. But do most people use Gmail and the Google's services?
Hmm. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, I subscribe to Google anyway, so I do have the Google Drive, but I'm all over the place. This is my problem. I've got stuff on iCloud. I've got stuff on OneDrive because I've been using OneDrive for ages because I subscribe 365 subscription, and then so I've got the bulk of my stuff is on OneDrive, and then I've got Dropbox because I used it to share files with other people, and now I've got stuff on there as well. So I've got Dropbox, iCloud. iCloud's got all the photographs. I've moved most of my files onto OneDrive, but now I'm thinking I want to use Google Drive instead. So
Yeah, because I'm a bit scattered. Like the photos are all with Apple,
mm.
but certainly some of my documents, I've got OneDrive because I use Word and Excel and stuff, and I've got the sub for that. But I've got stuff everywhere, and I have been thinking, should I take the plunge and consolidate it all in Google Drive?
My system works because when I've rebuilt this machine, this iMac, several times in the last few weeks, and I don't even worry about it. I just crash it all out, just start it from the beginning, format the disk, bring up the software, and then as soon as I log into OneDrive, everything comes back, on iCloud. So everything's there. So it's almost instantly. So it's a pretty robust system. So unless somebody hacks into your iCloud and deletes everything, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want that.
And I don't think that's going to happen. Anyway, Gary Marcus, I was watching this video, this YouTube video. He was describing the financial risks as we were talking with Jane earlier about the AI ecosystem and the bubble fueled by speculative hype and a fundamental, what he says is a fundamental misunderstanding of the technology's limits and the unsustainable economic models. And I think we kind of all know that ourselves, don't we? There's he said the market at the moment is at that Wile E. Coyote moment where he said where they've run off the end of the cliff, but they don't fall until they realise they've run off the end of the cliff and look down.
Yeah.
They're just staying there, and then as soon as they realise that. So he's talking about it's based on the fallacy of diminishing returns. Like he he likened it to having a baby. You have a baby and it's born and it weighs 7 pounds, and 2 months later it weighs 14 pounds. And you think, oh, right, okay, let's calculate this up. Yeah, by the time it goes to college, it'll weigh 1 trillion pounds. and he said that's the way they've been working out how the income is going to go. And he said it's kind of he said it's a naive exploitation of the scaling laws, and investors and companies simply believe that adding more data and computing power would eventually lead to AGI, which he says it won't. And so it's so that's what his argument. He said it's there was something called WeWork. He referred to that. Do you know what WeWork was? It was some sort of bubble.
Wasn't it like a shared working space company?
Yeah, but
offices in different cities.
Massive investment, wasn't there, in it? There was they opened up loads of places, and then they realised nobody wanted it, and it went bust, didn't it?
That's right.
So it's and they're saying that OpenAI, especially, he says, have got an unsustainable burn rate because they're they're taking in 2 billion a month, and they're losing more than that.
They're actually doing another round of funding at the moment for 100 billion, and I think Nvidia's put 40 billion into them.
Yeah.
I don't see it as a bubble. I see it as a donut, because everybody just seems to be investing in each other. Nvidia and Google and OpenAI, Microsoft.
The circular investments,
It's really interesting how it's inflating all the values, but they are investing in each other. It's very strange.
Yeah. So he said they need like massive checks, like 100 billion, ask for $100 billion, and he said that if investors, and there aren't that many investors now that can afford those sort of investments, if people stop funding them.
Can I talk about an experiment I did last weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I was looking for a UK LLM. Did I mention it last week?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Okay. Well, anyway, the experiment was it was rubbish, and I went back to OpenAI because me and ChatGPT agreed that if I couldn't access ChatGPT or the APIs, there was a lot worse things going on in the world than not being able to access ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Like hunting for food.
Yeah. So there's I think he was this Marcus Gary Marcus. He was talking to Steve Eisman, who's doesn't understand a lot about AI, but he knows a lot about investment, and he was an investment expert, and he said if a capital flight hits OpenAI, it would trigger a cascading effect in terms of the entire ecosystem, or most of the ecosystem, not all of it.
I just want them to build the OpenAI data center in the UK, because that way you can keep data jurisdiction here.
Yeah.
And also, if the Atlantic connection died, it would still run. That's the thing. So I'm hoping they're going to do that soon. They're talking about it.
Yeah. He said also there's been a price war because everyone's using the same technology, transformers, GPUs, and it's the technology itself that's become a commodity, which we do know about because everyone's chasing the chips, and it's also triggered a price war where the cost of tokens has dropped by a factor of 100, which has killed their profit margins, which is good, obviously good for us and good for Steffi, I would think. The sort of price drop in the number. The tokens is how much you pay for so much data from ChatGPT.
Yeah, your bot has hardly. Text queries now have hardly any cost. They're so cheap. I don't see any impact. I run your bot and it's just, all these questions going through and answers being given, and it's just not having any impact on, the thing that costs me is imagery when I'm doing blog posts. It's like 16p an image. So whereas a text query is like 0.001p.
Yeah. The thing that persuaded me, though, that the one thing that I thought was very relevant was, and I can believe this, is he talks about the cynicism of venture capitalists. Now, a venture capitalist don't risk their own money; they risk your money, right? Because they just put together a big pool of funds pulled in from rich people, and these people are generally trusted for their ability to see a good deal, to sniff one out. But venture capitalists get about 2% management fees of a fund, and when you're talking about hundreds of billions, that's a lot. 2% is a lot of money, and so they can be quite cynical about it. And even if it ended their career when they crashed, they've ended it on a high in terms of finances. So it's he said that these cynical venture capitalists are selling these plausible sounding stories to raise massive funds, ensuring their own wealth, even if the LPs, the limited partners, eventually lose their money. So and he was quite vehement about that as well. So he was he believes that's what's going on with the investment rounds. So yeah, so that's
Can I make a quick TV recommendation while we're here?
Yeah.
Person of Interest on Prime. It's 5 seasons of 23-hour-long episodes, so it's a proper jobby. It's an excellent look at post 9/11 automated surveillance and how there's good people, trying to help. But it's more about the people and the relationships than the technology. But there is massive technology there. And then it's developing into a war between two AIs with different competing philosophies. So I've just dropped the link the YouTube link for a trailer in there. I totally recommend this thing. It's just
What's it
addictive.
called, Steffi?
Person of interest. If you follow the YouTube link, it'll take you to a trailer.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah,
I'm on season 4 at the moment. I'm just loving it.
yeah. He was doubting whether AGI will come about because because of the way that LLMs work, large language models. It's because of the way they work. They still hallucinate and require constant checking. And if you look at YouTube for you can see the actual video. If you just key in Gary Marcus and Iceman. Iceman is spelled EISMAN. You can see his reasoning for that, and the way the LLMs, as they're configured now, will never ever reach AGI, which is intelligence.
I don't think they can. I think LLMs are subconscious. I
Yeah.
always look at subconscious. AGI is the conscious part. So you can't have AGI without an LLM underneath it.
No.
But I think the richness of the data needs to be increased. So you've got visual and auditory, and you know how we remember things. So when we think of something, it bubbles up an experience. So it's not just a piece of text that comes up, it's the image, the smell, the way it made you feel, the vision of it. And that's an experience. And I think until LLMs get to that level of data granularity, you can't put a conscious level on top of it.
There's a lot riding on it because they say there's a low, it's got he said low utility relative to valuations is the term he used, which was points out the utility of these systems doesn't match the trillions of dollars in value and investment, in valuation and investment. So there's been limited job displacement. So they can only really do 2.5% of jobs, contradicting the fantasy that AI will do everything and generate trillions in value immediately. But, there's a work slop, that word slop again, economy, where people have to check the work of work slop, of the production of AI, because he said a lot of things look good. He said if you see a presentation and it looks brilliant, it's well laid out, it all looks, you think that's a good, but when you actually read it, it's rubbish, So, and he said that they're still hallucinating because of the way the systems work. Hallucinations are really hard to get rid of. So they've managed to lessen them, but they still. Just to prove a point, he actually put his own name into. He showed a shot of him. He put his own name into ChatGPT, and it said loads of things about him was correct, but at the end it said he's famously got a pet chicken called Harold or something, whatever it was. And he says he's never had a pet chicken, but and it's irrelevant, and it didn't matter to the rest of the data, but that was wrong, So if that could be wrong now, anything could be wrong. So he's basically, as we said, he's saying that it's an AI financial landscape is a bubble built on circular financing and the false promise of AGI. And Steve Altman doesn't agree with him.
Didn't agree with him.
No, and he says that Steve Altman will be the first against the wall when the revolution comes. He said that OpenAI will be the first one to collapse. Is what he says.
Why? Why does he think that?
Because when they stop investing in the company, not refusing to put any more money in, that's when it'll collapse. And he said it won't disappear. He said it'll be absorbed by Microsoft or something like that, and people will lose money. But it would, he said the company in the best position is Google. It's got almost infinite resources. And he said it's got its own chips. It's got everything. You're not paying a middleman for all their stuff. They making the chips themselves. They're actually not having to go around and relying on other companies and things. So he said Google is the one that's will come out on top every time because of its it's got, you know, so much money and so many.
It's too big to fail.
Yeah.
It is.
You
They just
do-
can't fail, man.
But when you think about it, I mean, I don't know how many of you remember when they were fighting. There was just one small search engine and a sea of search engines. There were so many,
Yeah.
and it's just gradually taken over the world, quite literally, I think.
Well, I started writing. I did my own first online shop in 1999. No, yeah, 1999. And before that, I was Alta Vista was the biggest search engine at the time.
Yeah.
And, there was a tiny little search engine we still used to list on there called Backrub, and it's Backrub that became Google.
Oh, wow.
But I mean, so Alta Vista and Yahoo were the two that you had to list on, and they weren't really search engines; they were directories.
Yeah.
So, and it used to believe everything you told it, you know. Right. Then they started doing spiders and things like Google became spider, and it started finding out for itself what was on your website. And
I do wonder though if we're at the stage with AI or the LLM usage, that we're at the beginning of the internet and even mobile phones and smartphones, where people said there was all this potential, but you couldn't actually do it at the beginning. You could do some of it, but it was clunky or difficult. And not that I'm a big fan of Bill Gates, but when he says people overestimate what they can do in a day, but underestimate what they can do in a year, I think there is some truth in that. And I think that at the moment, we can see the potential for all these applications, but we're just not there yet.
no.
And sometimes when AI works proper, when it works well, it's like magic. You think, oh my God, it's going to take me a day to do, and I've done it in 5 minutes. And then there are other times, as you say, David, about this slop stuff, where it just produces rubbish. But I sometimes think at the minute, even if it gets you 50, 60, 80% of the way along, that's a lot better than you sitting there with looking at a blank page thinking, now what's the first words do I write,
Yeah, it's incredible because like Jem and I will read my Gmails, and so I've had communication from a particular person throughout last year, and we've been going backwards and forwards about sort of what it is they need to do this case management thing. It's kind of lawyery, sort of hypnotherapist sort of mixture thing, and I could just I can just pull in everything, all the previous emails, and we come to all about it. They've got somebody there giving them crap advice as well. I said, well, why is this advice crap? And then they put it all together in a fantastic email that's and lays it all out for me as well, so that I don't forget it, or I can understand it better. So it's in those for organisation and getting your ducks in a row and pulling information and putting it in a great format. I saw a video yesterday. They were using Perplexity mainly as their source to do reports, because it says Perplexity get the best sources and it produces the best information, and you can copy the sources and then you can put it's crap at organisation apparently. I don't know if it is or not, but I haven't used it enough. But then you can then put that into Notebook LM and use that to create your slides and your presentations and your the information you want to put out there. So I think it's so I think it's all there. So the other things I was looking at, we briefly mentioned Clawdbot, Clawdbot, was only around before Claude said, hang on a minute, that sounds too much like Claude. So they've changed their name to Moltbot. Does anybody apart from me and Brian know about this? This is it's an AI you install locally on your machine, and it basically can control your computer, and you can telegram in from the other side of the world, and your computer will do a task or whatever. And but we'll talk about it another week. But it's sounds a bit iffy in terms of security, because it has to have access to your route on your PC or Apple, and it's and if it gets something wrong, or you get something wrong, or your security is not top notch, there are ways around it. I mean, people are, if you look on X, on Twitter, everyone's buying these little Mac Minis, like little tiny square thing. Well, they're not square, they're 3D, but they're kind of little cubic sort of things. They're pretty good machines for the size they are, but they're
Many PCs are very powerful these days as well. I mean, you can get an i9 in a box like that.
Yeah. You can get and they're like, again, about 130, 140 quid you can buy. Buy a decent PC.
I bought one. I had a laptop for 8 years ago, and I was short of cash at the time, and I bought a mini PC for about 50 quid, and it was perfectly adequate. It had a Celeron processor in it, but it got me back up and running, and you know, when I could afford a better PC, I bought a better PC, but it just ran fine as long as I didn't try doing anything graphic heavy with it. It was excellent. It cost me like 50 quid.
Wow.
I just want to quickly show you this. I'll share some stuff next week, but there's this thing I saw and I thought, oh, this could be amazing. It's still in development. It's I can share my screen. It's Google Chrome unknown. Let's see what happens. Okay. What it is, because I've reinstalled
I have a kitten.
Yeah, admire Steffi's kitten while I get
This is Mary. He's a very licky cat.
He's not an AI avatar.
No, he's also a little murderer as well. He goes off into the scrubland at the back and comes back with mice and then terrifies them.
Oh,
and I try to catch them to let them go, and he'll jump into the next garden and I can't get him. And then I just hear the mouse screaming. It's horrible.
Oh, dear.
He's a little shit, he really is.
Oh.
Looks like butter wouldn't melt there, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Oh no, he's absolutely delightful. I've got a one-to-one with his mum's human next week, because I went and got him and his brother from her. And I just want to see them. I want to see how they're growing. And she showed me pictures of him when he was about 5 weeks old, blue eyes. Such sweet. Oh, there you go. He's falling over now. Come on, fall over. There you go.
I wanted to share my screen, and then I haven't given
yourself permission.
the rights to share the. Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. Has that opened a screen?
Nope.
We're back to the usual, gallery.
Oh, right. Okay. All right. Okay. So it's all right. It just wants me to click on allow. Because I didn't. Because I haven't put in Zoom as being allowed to share the screen. I think I should be all right now. Right.
There we go.
Oh.
This is purely in a test. It's not been around for very long, but Google, I don't know, when people go to places around the world, they take photographs of them and upload them to Google, and all the Google places have got masses of photographs.
Oh.
And what they're doing is to you'll be able to. This is just an example. So like I'll say only 26. So there are 26 places in the UK. There's 9 in London. If we click on one of these, there's 2 there. So I can Royal Academy of Art.
Oh yeah.
So this is the Royal Academy of Art. And then this is where a photograph is. It will generate a commentary and tell you about that picture.
Oh, wow.
So it's.
Did you know that the Royal Academy of Arts, located near Piccadilly Circus, was founded in 1768 by King George III? It's a British institution dedicated to promoting the visual arts through exhibitions, education, and debate. The building itself is quite a sight, but it's the art inside that truly tells the story of British art history.
So it gives you that, and they're going to be doing that for, potentially thousands or maybe millions of.
Is that the Australian version of the Last Supper? Because they're all wearing thongs.
Yeah, could be. There's yeah, well, they're wearing sandals, so I think that's right. But
Yeah, they look like beach thongs, don't they?
Yeah. What was the other one? No, that's not it. Talking Tours. There was another one. Oh, instrument playground. So if you didn't know what particular, I was playing with this the other day. So I don't know what a koto is. So shall we play it? So you can go to any. There are thousands of instruments around the world. You don't know what it sounds like. So I'm sure we've quite often been staring at the screen thinking, I wonder what a koto sounds like.
Yeah.
And this will just.
Most days, frankly.
Don't prevent my days ain't right to grinding cows, the blue you want me sign, rising on me.
Okay, so I assume that the background thing is a koto. So
well, koto is a Japanese guitar thing that ding ding. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, I'm just pretending to be Japanese.
It didn't sound like that, did it? Perhaps
Yeah.
it's shall we do? Let's do something we know, like a
Yeah.
see if it does it.
Play us something we know.
There's it was doing a lot quicker earlier, but okay. Come on then.
Oh, click on the key to play it, I guess. Can't hear anything.
I can. It sounds like a mixture of a piano and a violin.
Oh, you can hear it.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
You didn't share your audio when you shared your screen.
I've got to do. Yeah, I need to do some work on my sharings on here. So that's it. So there were just a couple of things. I think it's fascinating. You can see if you go to labs.google, there is loads of stuff in there that they're playing, that Google and other people are playing around with as well. And I think things, like we were saying like before, that we sort of, you can go on these walking tours around these French Riviera villages and things that are quite picturesque, and you're probably never ever going to go there, and yet you can just sit here on a Saturday evening with a glass of wine and just put it on YouTube and on your TV and put some other music in the background and just view these places that you're never going to go to.
And avoid that travelling stress.
That's right.
And stay in pajamas the whole time.
Yeah, brilliant.
I think that's quite good.
Is that Google? Sorry, David, was it Google Labs? Labs.google that you found those two?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's Labs. The first one's called Talking Tours. There was another ridiculous one called Quick Draw, which it's if you go to quickdraw.withgoogle.com, it's kind of it's quite funny because you've got to draw a picture with a mouse and it has to guess what it is. It tells you what to draw, and then you've got to draw it, and then it's got to guess what you're drawing. So it makes no what you're drawing is.
That sounds great fun.
Like a hot tub or a
yeah,
or something like that, and it's and I thought it was ridiculous, but then it hooked me in 4 minutes, and I wanted to be playing with it, you know.
Yeah.
So it's one of those funny things. Anyway, I'm going to stop the recording.
Oh God, nearly 11 o'clock.